Well, folks, a little history for you today here. There's a place here in southern Alberta called Head Smashed In Buffalo Jump. And that's a historical site that's been built where the Blackfoot people used to chase small herds of buffalo over a series of breaks and cliffs in the prairies. The buffalo weren't dead when they hit the bottom. They were smashed up enough that they were easier to kill with a bow or a lance. Now, in order to achieve this, they'd go out days before and set up a series of visual deterrents on the horizon, be it a pile of rocks or a pile of brush. And the day that they started working the buffalo, folks would hide in behind those things. And when they started working the buffalo, a group of braves covered in coyote hides and wolf hides on their hands and knees would slowly start working out into the herd. And they'd cut off a group of buffalo that they knew they could handle, and using that visual deterrent, they'd slowly start edging that group of buffalo towards the cliffs. Now, they had front runners out in front, and those were between the buffalo and the cliffs. Those were the fastest fellas in the group, and they were covered in buffalo hides, and they'd made out like they were out there grazing. As those buffalo were slowly being pushed towards them, and everybody got in the right position, all of a sudden a signal was given. Everybody would start hooping and hollering and yet running at the buffalo and spook them up good. And being a herd animal, when they're spooked, the herd turns and runs. They see those front runners who start running towards the cliffs, and the herd follows in behind. When the front runners get to the cliffs, they duck in a crevice or behind some rocks and watch the buffalo go plummeting over the cliff to their demise. Well, folks, in 1971, a fellow by the name of Klaus Schwab, he decided to start a group called the World Economic Forum. And he started telling a group of elite individuals, as they like to think themselves, that they should start covering themselves in wolf hides and coyote hides and slowly start pushing the unsuspecting people towards the cliff. Slowly encroaching on people's rights, taking away people's rights, slowly, slowly. Using distractions, media, war, famine, pestilence, corruption, politics. Well, we're getting to the politics. And them front runners that they got out there in front of the herd, those are the politicians. And they just keep the herd distracted, slowly taking them towards the cliffs. And when Klaus and his boys, they're getting ready to stand up and start spooking the herd. And this is where we turn on them, people. We're going to be real buffalo. We're not going to get spooked. And when a buffalo's not spooked and he sees a threat, he charges on it. He runs it down and he paws it into the fucking ground. He mauls it with his head and kills it. So people, let's be buffalo. Let's turn around and face what's coming. I love all of you.